In the name of God, hello everybody. My name is Mehdi Kortnavasi, and this is the fourth movie about chapter 4, Thinking IT through Service Strategy ITIL. And in this chapter, we will talk about the managing your finance or financial management for IT services. IT isn't free. Someone has to pay for it or at least account for it. Do you budget in your personal life? You may think me sad, but I've been down and write a list for what I spend and what I earn. After I've done the calculation, I decide how much money I have left to spend at the pub. The IT department never seems to have enough money. So you have to make sure you spend what you have wisely. In ITIL definition, the purpose of the financial management for IT service process is to secure the appropriate level of funding to design, develop, and deliver service that meet the strategy of the organization. Financial management for IT service acts as a gatekeeper to ensure that an IT provider does not commit to a service it cannot afford. To do this, financial management for IT service identifies the balance between cost and quality of service and maintains the balance of supply and demand between the service provider and the customer. Financial management for IT service provider, the business and IT with a qualification in financial terms of the value of the IT service. To do this, it must quantify in financial terms the value of the assets that make up your services. An organization needs to know the cost of its service so that it can secure the funding for them. If your organization is a commercial organization, it recovers the cost of the services by charging for them and hopefully make a profit. If you are an internal provider delivering IT service to other people in the same organization, you must forecast what it will cost to provide the IT service and you must ensure that the budget is available. Financial management for IT service provides data and information to enable the forecasting of the operational costs associated with providing the operation the IT service. First, it aggregates financial information. This means that financial management for IT service is like a sponge. It collects and soaks up from across the organization information about the costs of providing and maintaining and managing the IT services. It then slices and dices the information into an understandable format so that it can be used by all of the IT department to make decisions about how to provide better management of the IT services. A cost model is a framework which allows the service provider to determine the costs of providing services and ensure they are allocated correctly. Cost model can be used to allocate costs in many ways, by department, by customer, by location, or by service. For example, what costs to provide IT services to the sales departments? Cost model by internal customer. Or what does it cost to provide the email service? Cost model by IT service. It depends on your organization and its policy how you do this. The cost of a service is the sum of its parts. Those parts being the assets that make up the service, hardware, software, people, and so on. To understand what it costs the IT provider to deliver the service, you need to know the amount of assets used in each case. Not all assets are dedicated to a single service. Some are shared. I'm sure in your organization some hardware is shared between services. For example, the network is usually used by many services. Similarly, IT staff, you and your colleague, no doubt work on several IT services. So how will you allocate their time? Your time and effort should be accounted for and allocated to one or many services. I'm sure you've experienced the joy of filling in time sheets. To make things easy, classify your costs as direct costs. It means those that are used exclusively for a service or customer. For example, the service hardware that is used only for the email service will have its costs allocated to the email service. And the next is indirect costs. Costs that cannot be allocated to a single service are shared costs. For example, the service desk costs are shared among the services or customers that use the service desk. Classifying costs in this way make it easier to understand where each asset is used and how it should be accounted for. These costs are input to your cost model. Another classification is used to separate out the day-to-day costs from the large purchase or investment. The first is capital costs. These are usually large purchases such as servers and network equipment. They are assets that your organization keep for a long time and which will provide value for a number of years. For this reason, finance departments usually allocate or spread the cost over a number of years. You'll hear this special allocation referred to as depreciation. Depreciation is the measure of the reduction in value of an asset over its life. And the next is operational cost. The operational expenditure resulting for running the services on a day-to-day basis. For example, staff costs, maintenance costs, and overheads such as electricity. Once spent, this money is gone. It has no future value.
ServiceNow Financial Management gives you the visibility you need to align your IT investments with business goals. To meet these goals, you need to understand how you can map your IT costs to the services your customers consume. With ServiceNow Financial Management, CIOs can leverage the power of realistic pricing for services. You can direct service managers to allocate costs with metrics based on service usage, driving a more cost-conscious behavior by your client organizations. From this dashboard view, you can see your financial performance, operational availability, and project go-lives, all on the same screen. The CIO dashboard is very interactive. You can look at your spend across the different business services to determine if they align with your business priorities. From this, CIOs can weigh operational performance against cost and adjust investments accordingly. The panel view provides service owners many different views of IT spend across different areas, such as categorical costs, cost centers, and business service costs. This allows service owners to get the information they need quickly to make informed decisions. You can also drill down into different areas, such as a specific period of time and different business services. From here, you can see what you are spending, where costs are coming from, who's spending the most, and much more. The Workbench allows IT financial analysts to create all the reports they need. This easy-to-use interface allows non-technical analysts to build reusable rules, such as for cleaning up raw general ledger data, and classify spending into manageable buckets. With a specific UI designed just for IT financial analysts, you can build your financial model step by step from an intuitive drag-and-drop interface. Make informed decisions and align your IT investments with ServiceNow Financial Management.
By far, my favorite cost model is the one that calculates the cost of providing each IT service, or cost by service. When you know the total cost of providing the IT service, you can decide how best to charge for the service or how best to account for it. For example, what's the cost of providing the email system to all your users? The following table gives an example. First, you decide which components form part of the email service. You identify the assets that are dedicated to the service or direct costs. For those components or assets that are shared or indirect costs, you decide how to share the cost. Then you add up the cost for the assets to get a total cost for the email service. As you see in this table, for email service only, the server hardware and server software are direct asset 100% and total cost per year, and the network users only 25% of total, and engineers for technical support 20% for this service, and the service desk staff to deal with incidents and requests just for email service 15% of total cost. So with sum up the price or cost per year, you can achieve the total cost for this specific service for a year. Warning, all this calculating could become very complicated. However, think about what happens if you get the calculation wrong. If your organization is a commercial supplier for IT service and someone miscalculates the cost of the service, your organization may not recover its costs and could lose money. Not a good thing. Let's talk about creating a business case. ITIL describes a business case as a business support and planning tool. A business case is usually a document that describes the reasons and costs involved in a course of action. Organizations use a business case to justify the expenditure on a project. The main section of a business case is the cost-benefit analysis, an analysis of the cost and benefit for the projects. As an example, the sales department has asked the IT department to develop a new customer relationship management or CRM service. This involves a new software application along with the related hardware and support. Have a look at the table which shows what is cost benefit analysis might look like. In this table there are three parts. The first, benefit, improve ability to identify customer needs, 100,000 unit euro or dollar per year increase sales from identifying new customer opportunities. And in front the benefits there are costs, three parts, 50,000 of developing new software application, 30,000 cost of hardware upgrades, and 20,000 per year additional support costs. And also there is a risk, software not complete on time, so lack of expertise of related technology and availability of business staff to identify requirements. These are a benefit, cost, and risk analysis for a new service. As an example, here is a suggested outline for a business case for a new or changed IT service. First, introduction. Set the sense and link the project to the business objectives. The next is methods and assumptions. Provide the scope of the project. Third, business impact. Describe the benefits to be gained and the cost that will be incurred, or a cost-benefit analysis. The fourth is risks and contingencies. What may go wrong and how you can get around it. And the last is recommendation. Give specific actions. In the service portfolio management process, which I described it in the earlier section, knowing your service portfolio management, one of the main activities is to decide which service to invest in. One of the main inputs to this decision is the financial cost of the service. For each new service or significant change to a service, you must calculate the cost involved and the financial benefits. You produce a business case so that the service portfolio management process can compare the financial aspects of the various proposed investment and help senior management make a decision. Looking at the activities of financial management for IT services. The main activities of the financial management for IT service process are budgeting, getting hold of the money. You predict how much money you'll need next year to provide the IT service. and then you try to secure the money. Your cost model provides a useful structure for predicting costs. The budgeting activity can turn into a bit of a game, with each department in the organization competing for its share of the corporate pot. So you must have a clear understanding of what it costs to provide your service and how costs may change in the coming period. This means you must find out what the business plans are. The next and very important section is accounting, calculating the cost, working out where the money has gone. You put a structure in place and code the stuff you buy so that you have an accurate record of what you spend. The structures are often suggested by your organization's main financial department, but you may have to change some to suit the type of IT expenditure. Much of this structure is provided by your cost models. And the last one is charging, deciding whether and or how to charge. If your organization is a commercial one, then you charge for the IT services with the intention of at least breaking even and hopefully making a profit. If you're providing IT services to internal customers, you don't have to charge. In some cases, the financial department does some funny stuff to account for the IT budget. In other organizations, the internal IT department does charge. This helps staff and customers understand the cost of IT and sometimes influences how the business uses the IT service. Remember, if you do charge, you must have a clear understanding of what it costs to provide the service. Okay, thank you for watching this movie. In the next movie, we will talk about the demand management. Thank you.